What's up, everyone? Welcome to the first RunStrong episode. In this podcast, we'll be talking about the way that runners can't evolve their running performance because they're basically thinking that more mileage or just running randomly can help them. And many times you need so much more than that. You have to truly be aware of all the elements that running has. And we'll be talking a lot about that throughout the entire podcast. But today, we'll talk specifically on the reason why most runners can't evolve and the main reason why runners have pain like constantly, or even we know as data that 50% of runners they have injuries in a single year. So this number is already like official data, but I bet that this number is so much bigger because many times we feel this pain, this little the beginning of some injuries, and we just think, okay, no, this small injury I'm feeling is nothing, and I just keep going, and later on it becomes a bigger injury. But at the time you're just like, no, it's nothing, it's just this small pain, it's not gonna affect me. And if we considered all these small injuries, I bet that this number would be like 80% of runners to even more. And as a strength and conditioning coach and graduating in physiotherapy, I keep thinking, what are we as professionals doing to that? But now I want to talk to you that's a runner and not a professional in the area. We probably keep thinking, oh, that's normal. I mean, it's impact. You have a huge impact sport. You have constant and repeatedly impact throughout a lot of mileages and a lot of miles, a lot of kilometers throughout the whole process and the weeks. That's not something that we have to just like think, oh, it's never gonna reach out to some injury, to some pain. But that's not the biggest point, because injury is possible, pain is something that eventually will come, and that's not something that will say, no, it's never gonna happen, we're in la la land where that doesn't exist. It does exist. But the biggest thing right here is knowing that despite there is the possibility, we have to do what we can to not only prevent injuries, but also to stay pain-free. And I believe that that's one of the key elements to you who ain't like this big athlete and a person who's running for, that RP, that to win like the world biggest marathon. Many times you're not that person. And I'm talking to you who's running for a lifestyle, for health, for quality of life. You cannot be constantly facing injuries and pain. And there is a way, and that's specific strength. When we do specific strength, we're not talking about like that traditional spreadsheets on the gym, that traditional bodybuilding like training. It's not that. Those kinds of training, they're okay, they're good. It's not like they have no benefits. They do have a little benefit, but they're not as specific for who's running. They If you say me one exercise that will make like you have a better impact absorption with it, you're probably not gonna find in traditional gyms workouts. So why are we still doing it? Why is it massively? We have to start doing specific strength. And there is something called plyometrics, which is basically a jump based type of training where we're going to consider the impact. And we have to train the impact on a controlled manner so that when we go to the street to run, when we go to the roads, when we go to the trail running, our body is adapted to that impact. But now most people, they're from zero and then they just want to start running. What is going to happen inside of them? What is going to happen to the joints? What is going to happen to the tendons? Everything. Basically, you're going to break eventually because your body wasn't prepared for that impact, and now you're just going crazy in an environment that's completely random. In the street, you're like running, and then you have to jump, and then you have to step away from something you see on the ground. And basically, the possibility to have an injury gets too high. But when we come to the gym, we're in a controlled place, an environment that doesn't have all that random thing on the street, and then it's so much easier. It's so much easier to just set on a workout that will give your body the capacity to absorb impact. That's one thing. But we have so much more than that. We have to think that the most common injuries and pain are on the knee, and then the hips, and then on the shins. So if we have this, we have to know that everything starts through the feet. The feet is basically your first contact to the ground. And when you have a very low strength on the foot arc, or your foot is collapsing to the ground, what you're gonna get is not maybe you don't even have like a foot pain, which would be common, but maybe it doesn't happen. But your knee is gonna suffer so much more, your hip is gonna suffer so much more, and then you'll have that sort of big problems that keep happening, like low back pain. Other people will have IT band syndrome. Other people will find shin splints. And this all becomes and starts on the foot. So when was the last time you've done a foot arc strengthening exercise? I keep thinking that we're neglecting everything that gives base to the running, and we're jumping right on to let's perform, let's break our records, and that's not it. You get it? So this podcast here has one mission, and that is to truly help you understand that when you don't do specific strength, you're basically condemning your own self to pain and injury. Maybe it doesn't happen in the first year you're running, maybe it doesn't happen in the second, but eventually it will. Because our bodies, they have limits. And I'm not talking like, oh, let's just stop doing everything, let's stop running. That's not the problem. Running itself never was and never will be the problem. But all of that lack of base, all of that lack of strength, and again, remember, I'm not talking about hypertrophy, which is something great. Hypertrophy has its benefits. Muscle mass has its benefits. You need some of it, even for longevity, for health, for when you're getting older. But it goes way, way, way beyond than that. And when you realize that and start doing the specific strength workouts that you truly need to do, that's exactly where you get in the spot where you'll have a lot of years running well. And when I say running well, that's so subjective, because for some people running well is breaking records and getting way better at what they're doing now. But for some people who are not performance oriented, which is like a big public today on the running, their thing is like quality of life and health. So why are we jumping right into the performance things and neglecting the basis. Run Strong is a concept that goes for training not only the running itself, which should be controlled and should be oriented. We need that. We need periodization to apply and not just progress like 1 week you're running 20 miles and then in the next week you're running 60. That's a call out for injury and problems. But it goes far beyond than just mileage, than just running. If we don't start thinking about strength training, you'll have a lot of trouble. So I'm just here to encourage you to go out there and start applying this to your routine. But again, I'm not talking about traditional gym workouts. Traditional gym workouts are so good on some objectives like aesthetics and other objectives related to muscle mass win, to hypertrophy. But when we talk about getting injury free and having a way less problems with pain while we're running, then the only pathway is to do specific strength. So truly, if you can just take one message out of this first episode, just know that runners gets injured every year because they're lacking specific strength. They're lacking the basis and they're lacking everything that should be on their routines as something constant, as something basic. Again, but we're missing it, and especially for those who are starting now. But again, I see even people who already have like 2 to 3 years who still doesn't do it. And you might say, oh, but they're going so well, they're going so okay. Yeah, maybe right now they're going okay, but then when it passes like 2 years up forward, the problem starts to appear. And then they go to the physiotherapy, they do this passive things like all this stuff, but they could be preventing it before it happened. Why do you keep expecting and waiting for pain and for injuries when you can start now preventing and also getting yourself more running longevity for not just today, but from 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now? When we see someone like George Hackenschmidt, who's running late in his 80s without pain, without injuries, that's where we should be aiming at. And what is he doing again? He was doing specific strength. So that's what saved him. He was coming from injuries, like in a series row, again and again and again. And then he just started doing it. And it changed completely the way he faced running. You don't have to wait till you have 80 years old and a lot of injuries, a lot of problems to start doing what you need to do. So thank you guys for watching this episode. Pretty quick here, but just to get this message out there, stop just going randomly. I have this program called RunStrong 7D, costs only $990, and you can start doing specific strength today. Even though if you don't enter it in this channel, I have so much free content for you to already start evolving your running performance, longevity, and so much stuff, and mostly of all, running pain-free. So thank you guys, see you next time, and that's it.